Hey everyone, it's Michael with Long Way Travels. I honestly believe the Chase Freedom Flex is one of the best beginner travel cards in the game, if not the best. I've collected over 50,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points and having this card in the last 2 years. It helped me fund my international trips in the last year as well. I'm going to go over the value I received in having this card in the first year, especially with that sign-up bonus. And also my overall experience of having it in the last year or two, and also the obstacles I face with this card. And lastly, what is my current strategy with this card going forward and beyond. So anyway, let's talk about it. Chase Freedom Flex is an easy card to use as it has standard multiplier on 3x on dining and drugstores such as Walgreens and CVS. But the real draw of this card is the quarterly categories enhancement of multipliers. We can get 5x to 7x on certain categories from Chase every quarter. For this quarter, categories include such as Amazon, where you can actually go to Whole Foods in-store and get the multipliers as noted here by Chase. And you've got other categories such as dining at restaurants, and of course hotels, where you can actually get an elevated multiplier of 9x if you book the hotels through the Chase travel portal. So what is the strategy in using this card when I got it? Well, when I first received this card in May 2022, I actually used this as my primary dining card as I was transitioning from downgrading my CSP to, of course, the Chase Freedom Unlimited. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very honest. When I first got the card, I did not maximize the spend as I was really slow in 2022, and I really didn't take off until actually 2023. As PayPal, for example, went to late 2022 quarter 4, I actually didn't even maximize that PayPal category. So one other thing is that, to be honest, I didn't fully maximize the multipliers for this card when I got it in 2022, as it was the first card I got approved since I got the CSR right here in 2017. As mentioned in the beginning, with the Chase Freedom Flex card, I earned over 50,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points, and 20,000 of the points came from the sign-up bonus for this card, which is the current offer right now. So that means I've earned over 30,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points through regular spend. And also make a note that I'm only calculating the points through quarter 1 of 2024. So in 2023 is when I started getting more strategic, as I did use the 5x category on Target, but not on groceries. But then in quarter 2, I started to maximize my spend as Amazon was a key category, and then I definitely hit the 1,500 spend for Amazon. And in quarter 3 of 2023, that was easy as well, as I utilized the 5x multiplier on live events and on gas stations. So if you max out the 5x multipliers, which is equivalent to $1,500 spend, you can earn either $75 cash back, or if you transfer it to a Chase Sapphire card, you can get 7,500 travel points of Chase Ultimate Reward. And if you transfer the 7,500 points to hotel and travel partners, you can get so much more value. So for example, you can take that 7,500 points and book an international flight from Detroit to Toronto. And yes, it will require, yes, a passport, and it is a short 1 hour, 19-minute flight. It will cost you, of course, going to the home of the maple syrup, your 7,500 points, and only $5 in tax and fees through Virgin Atlantic, with a cash price of just $231 with a CPP of 3. So that is a great example of using your points. And of course, theoretically, you will be transferred to Virgin Atlantic, which is actually an airline transfer partner of Chase. As I noted in a previous segment, the multipliers can go up to 7x, which I'm showing here in quarter 2, based on some of my receipts I've gotten. That means if you max out the $1,500 spend on your Chase Freedom Flex, you can earn up to 10,500 Chase Ultimate Reward points for that quarter. And of course, if you do take the $105 of cash back or 10,000 Ultimate Reward points, you can book a flight from Dallas Fort Worth to New York via United Airlines for only 10,000 points. What a great value in using your travel credit card point. And lastly, the current public welcome offer for the Chase Freedom Flex is getting $200 cash back after spending about $500 on the card in the first 3 months, which if you convert the $200 to Chase Ultimate Reward points, that's 20,000 points, which is such a great value in the first year. And you can take those 20,000 points and once again transfer it to airline partners, and you can book a flight via Virgin Atlantic. You can go from JFK to Athens all the way internationally on 20,000 points of Virgin Atlantic, which is a value of over $500. Some sneaky features of the card that you may not be aware about include a 0% APR for the first 15 months of having this card. You get purchase protection for the first 120 days of a value of $500. And the $500 is per claim and $50,000 per account. And also you get trip cancellation and trip interruption insurance, which I'll show here, which is very valuable for a $0 annual fee card. That's pretty nice as well, don't you think? So let's move on. What has my experience been with the card now for the last 2 years? Clearly my experience has been very positive, as I love the versatility of this card, as you can use what you pay for with the 5% 5x multiplier, and you can get cash back, which is totally fine if you like that setup. Or you can have it as travel credit card points and transfer Chase Ultimate Reward points. As I started in the beginning, I slided this card as part of my Chase trifecta, and that's very good if you're a beginner in the travel and points game. And of course, I've had great usage with this card in the last year with the rotating categories, as Chase has been nailing in the last year from categories such as dining, groceries, PayPal, live events, and I was able to max out that $1,500 spend as well. So what are the obstacles I face in having this card? Well, let's start with the most obvious one. If you've had this card before, you know that the one biggest detail is that you have to manually activate the rotating category 5% thing basically with Chase. And that's kind of a pain because you may forget, though Chase does give you the opportunity to do it in 6 ways. I mean, literally like through phone, through email, through the app, go to the bank, you can mail it. And of course, they also give you time as well. So the latest you can activate the categories is 2 weeks before the current quarter ends. So for example, if we're in quarter 2, you have till June 14th to activate the categories, and you will get the multiplier since the quarter ends on June 30th. And for me, and sometimes, but mainly families, but I also think the $1,500 max spend for the 5x multiplier is a bit low. As I'm showing a graphic here where families, average spend is about $270 on groceries, which if you think about per month, that's almost over $1,000. So that means they're gonna hit that spend very easily. So I think it's a bit low, and I wish they would increase it. Also because of economic factors and also due to current inflation. So that's another thing I feel is an obstacle for the Chase Freedom Flex card. And on the topic of rotating categories, I do think Chase is a bit late in announcing them, as if you see it here, they actually announced it about 2 weeks before the actual quarter starts. So I think it's a bit late and could be a bit difficult in adjusting your credit card points and spending strategy for the next quarter. I have been traveling a bit internationally now and obviously for the next couple of years. And one little obstacle I am facing is that it does impose foreign transaction fees, which is kind of annoying because that can be 3 to 5% or more. Whereas other cards in the spectrum of no annual fee cards, such as the Wells Fargo Autograph card, the Capital One Saver, and even the Discover It card has no foreign transaction fees, which I think really they should try to revise that part, which I think would be on par with other no annual fee cards in the game. So how does this card fit in my current credit card strategy and lineup? Well, in regards for the personal cards I have right now currently, I like to use a lot of lower or no annual fee cards, so the Chase Freedom Flex fits perfectly in my lineup, as I use my credit cards for work and personal travel. In one of my previous videos, I showed you how I can get 7x on dining purchase last March by basically using the curve card and the go back in time feature with the Chase Freedom Flex to maximize my travel points. And it's kind of the same thing how I use in my latest trip to Canada, where I was able to use the curve card and pay the buffer and transfer in those 7x dining purchase, which I'll show here, in my latest trip to Canada. And actually it zeroes out those foreign transaction fees. By using this 2-card combination and obviously another MasterCard, I'll be able to nullify the foreign transaction fees when I travel to Asia and Europe next month. And since my strategy right now currently is to maximize the travel and credit card points I'm trying to earn for the next couple of years, I like to use cards with elevated multipliers, such as the Chase Freedom Flex here with the 5 to 7x multiplier, and also getting credit card sign-up bonuses every so often. So to me, using the Chase Freedom Flex with its elevated multiplier is one of the perfect cards to travel around the world, but also in luxury, not only in the air, but also on land. And also, if the Chase Freedom Flex is not enough, especially with that $1,500 spend, definitely consider getting another card, which is the Chase OG card, which also can be a 5x rotating card, which I just got here lately in January, if you want to check out the video. But another way to maximize your credit card earning points for all your everyday purchases. Otherwise, that's all I got on this review of the Chase Freedom Flex in my last 2 years. I didn't fully maximize all my spend, but I definitely got a lot of value on it, especially for no annual fee. Please let me know what you all think of having this card, and if you really think it's one of the best cards for the travel game and not only for beginners. And I appreciate everyone joining and listening to my content these days. And make sure everyone to like, subscribe, share everything going forward. And I appreciate all the support in the last year now. So as I say in all my videos, life is short. Travel more, everyone. If you want to see a video on how I got 7x on dining purchase in March, check it out here. And if you also want to check out a video here on what's in my wallet for quarter 2, definitely check it out. I definitely included the Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase OG card in my comments. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next one.